Yeah, so this is Lane, and this is the third video I'm making today. This is gonna be a video on what it's like to stutter, because I don't know why, but I stutter tremendously when I'm off camera. I always do. And I know it might sound shocking because I'm a preacher, but because somebody's a preacher don't mean they're exempt from having stutters. Don't mean they're exempt from having that kind of stuff. So in this video, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explain what it's like to have a stutter. I've only had to battle this for about a year and a half, give or take, maybe. I'm not sure. That sounds about right, I think. Crap. Sorry, my sleep schedule's got my mind all like scrambled, I guess. But I'm just gonna go through some stories that I believe have started making me in the past started making me stutter, and I still deal with it to this day. Yeah. So which one would be a good one to start with? I'll save that one. Sorry, I'm just trying to like make mental note of which story I want to tell first and which one I want to tell last. Okay. So I was on front headset, which for those of you that don't know, front headset is when somebody's up front, so they're relatively close to the cashier, just so in case somebody needs thou to took thou, things along that line. Out of nowhere, I'm bad. The way you actually know if it's a lane or not is because if you're on lane 1 and you hear one beep, that means it's your lane. The same thing can go for 2 beeps, lane 2. So, and like it's back to back if it's lane 2. So beep beep. And I don't remember what lane I was on. I'm thinking it was lane 2. And I answered it. I was like, hello, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? And she said, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. And so I said, hello, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? Hello, I can't understand you. So knowing, like, if you don't know how strong my voice is, just wait till I make mastery preaching studies. Then you will. But trust me, my voice and my lungs are strong. And so I was trying to at most use an eighth. That's it. And that can still almost burst somebody's eardrums if they're standing within a 20 to 40 foot range of my voice. So it can be drastically loud. Um, so I was trying not to use that. At, at one point, she brought out, I can't understand you. Can you please put somebody on, can you please switch with somebody who can actually speak English? I was so shocked and so dumbfounded, I started stuttering all over the place. I think at that point, it was almost just like a habit almost. I don't know. And then just as I was about to overcome it, something relatively similar happens, and that pushed it back a couple months. And I was thinking like, wow, what's going on with this? I can't deal with this. And then this is gonna be the last video. The last story I tell before I actually explain what it's like. And then, what was it? This story is about to get crazy. I'm trying to remain good and calm. But what it was is I went out to spot 2, which for those of you that don't know, because I don't know, the last I checked, 10% or so of my audience live in the US. Because for some reason that's a statistic, area codes. I don't understand that. But for some reason, only 10% of you guys live in the US. Okay? So, I don't know how McDonald's in other countries does it, but in the US, if it's gonna be a little bit, they have numbered parking spots designated for you to park in, and workers, yep, see like that. Yeah, that started coming out a little bit. And worker, soon as the food and the drink, everything's ready, is gonna bring it out. And with that being said, I was scrambling. I was rushing to my feet to get everything, because he had waited a long while. So I was really scrambling. I was like, ooh, man, he's gonna be mad. And that's that, because he, I think, waited 30 to 45 minutes for it, for his food and drinks. I was like, you got to be kidding. So I was so utterly confused because of what happened next. What happened next is something in my lifetime we'll probably never forget. I'm not gonna say his actual name, but so I don't know if there's one guy that works there, and he has initials that start with that, so I'm just gonna make up his initials for privacy reasons. Okay. I'll just use my own initials. Wait, no, my bad. Alright. I just not thought of some initials that even because if you know who I'm talking about, it's gonna make perfect sense. And just for reference, look up Russian leader, and it's gonna make a lot more sense after that. But uh, but this is simply for reference. He said he had his wallet out, pointing it like a gun at me, and he said, now listen here, you go in there and tell your manager's VP, again, if you know who I'm talking about, or if you want to know who I'm talking about, look up the Ocean Needle, and you'll understand. Because that dude's crazy, so yeah. But I'm not saying it was actually him. I'm just using his initials for reference. But when, like, I was just so stunned, I was just stuttering all over the place again. And then it's like I physically froze. I was like, yeah, okay. And right before, I should have made mention that the customer who was complaining was the passenger, and the driver, I should say the front passenger, who threatened to shoot the place, was a passenger, and the driver, he barely said a couple words. I never made out what he said, but when he said them, it felt so demonic. I was like, okay. And I don't know what the crap what changed this, but before he said anything, I was physically stuck. It's like I was physically froze there, and then as soon as he said those words, I bolted. I was like, oh crap, like I'm out here. I'm not about to deal with this guy anymore. I'm done. And so I told my mom, I told her about 4 or 5 hours after that. And I told her his actual name, first and last. I don't know why, but I knew and I remembered in great detail, specifically the back of the car. And so I told my manager, I was like, I don't know if that's a car, just show me the back of the car and I'll be able to tell you. And so she put it up, I was like, that's the car. She asked me if that was a guy, I was like, that's the guy. And turns out the same guy actually had already been banned for life from 4 or 5 different places at that point. So yeah, that's actually that's some of the stories I believe that have helped to cause my settle. And now what I'm really wanting to get down to is what does it feel like? I was watching some YouTube videos on what it feels like, and I know there's gonna be some differences in it, but for the majority of the time, it's usually gonna be pretty accurate. And I don't remember what his name was. I think it was J.D. Daniel. And with that being said, I was so surprised at how accurate he was describing it, because he honestly was hitting it right on the head. And and when he said that it felt like a roller coaster, I never thought about it up till then like a roller coaster, but I probably never will stop forgetting. I mean, I probably always think about it now as a roller coaster, because sometimes you do real good with it, sometimes you struggle with it, sometimes you veer way off, and that was specific. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Sometimes that was certain syllables you struggle with, certain letters certain letters you struggle with. So there's a lot to really think about. And not to mention, I've also been trying to calm myself down, to really think about what I'm saying before I say it, and that's honestly it's drastically helped to stop my stutter, but I still have that occasionally. And when you actually try to talk, imagine this, because statistically 3 million people in the United States struggle with stuttering. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do basic math, and this is like frying my brain right about now. I don't know. I think that'd be like 3% of the American, I should say the US population. Let me think. 300, because there's roughly 333 million citizens. So that'd be about 3% of the US population that struggles with stuttering. If I'm doing my math right. And so, yeah, I was really surprised at how good he was at explaining it, but not just that. Imagine, because it's only affecting roughly 3 to probably 5% of the US population in terms of actual citizens. So if you don't have it, and chances are you don't stutter. If you don't have it, you won't. I should say you probably won't understand what I'm talking about, and you might, but you also might not. If you don't understand it, let me try helping you. It's like if you're trying, you know exactly what you want to say, how fast you want to say it, with what emphasis you want to say it, everything. But you gotta completely slow, almost. In some cases, I've had to almost completely slow myself down, if not stop talking, so I could gather my thoughts just long enough to start talking and not stutter my way through an entire sentence. But it's like something, it feels like something's really constricting your vocal cords. And so I've been trying to implement different breathing strategies, different things, so my stuttering potentially goes down. But as I made mention in my second to last video, would it be my last video? As of now, it would be my last video. But as of the time this video is uploaded, this one of course is gonna be the last, so it's already my last one, but it's gonna be my second to last, if that makes any sense. I said, please don't make fun of anybody. I, I should have clarified this law. That, yeah, and I know in the past I've probably stepped on some people's toes the wrong way, especially in my preaching. But in preaching, if you preach what God gives you to preach, don't apologize for it. I think we all need to be careful of what we say. It's not that I'm a very good preacher or anything. It just, I know how difficult studying is. I know how difficult autism is. So please don't make fun of people in studying and autism, things they can't control, especially those. But if okay, case in point. Look up the story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal. He marched them for having a false god. And I'm paraphrasing when I quote this. He essentially said he is a god. Peradventure he sleepeth and must be awake, or he is in a journey, or he talketh, and all these other things, and it's like the prophet Elijah just made fun of a false god. Yes, and guess what? The prophet Elijah did not apologize. So please don't make fun of people's physical ailments. But biblically speaking, honestly, I don't have any problem with somebody doing things along the same lines as what Elijah did. And I don't think God does either. Because I think if he did, he would have automatically created Elijah, especially with him being a prophet. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you don't miss a beat. Till next time. Peace.